Anti-mafia prosecutor Federico Lleshaj underlined that Albanian criminal groups are specialized in drug trafficking as they invest their cash in Albania and put at risk the economy of the country. Students at the Faculty of Law have not yet returned to the auditoriums, even after the efforts by Director Artan Hoxha to carry out student instruction in other buildings. Interior Minister Sandor Lleshaj has negatively responded to the call issued by the DP to be in the Media Commission due to his agenda. Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Tuesday, the 29th of January 2019. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Oliver, and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country, translated into English. In her speech, Minister Ettila Jonaj said the priority of the Albanian government is the fight against organized crime. She stated, "The fight against organized crime is an absolute priority of the Albanian government, which is engaged in all of its capacities in the major challenge." Italy, as a neighboring country, and all the other European Union countries have always been proactive in any initiative undertaken by the Albanian government in the fight against organized crime. Meanwhile, she emphasized that the anti-crime package will soon be presented. The anti-crime package will be presented very soon and aims to bring legislative changes and significant interventions to the current legal framework, including reforming of the Criminal Code of the Republic of Albania, said Jonaj. She continued by saying that there has been extraordinary progress in the opening of negotiations for Albania's integration into the European Union, stating Albania is at a decisive stage for its European future, and we are hopeful that in June, the European Union Council will take the decision to open up talks with Albania on its EU membership. Our country has undertaken tremendous efforts for approximation with European standards and for the fulfillment of the criteria for opening membership talks. Meanwhile, the Italian anti-mafia prosecutor Federico Lleshaj warned that the mafia in Albania is a concrete threat. He stated, "In the interview that I mentioned, Ambassador Sareka foresees a scenario where the incomes from the organized crime organizations will be redirected into investments in Albania. The mafia could potentially become a main investor in Albania, and that would be a terrible fact. The denounced risk is concrete and the alarm bells are accepted by all of us. Illegal reinvestments alongside corruption and the bond between these two produces the availability of large amounts of money coming from criminal and illegal activities and can create investment facilities of this dirty money in the lawful economy." He also added, even according to the most prestigious international agency that deals with organized crime in any country around the world, there is not only a direct relationship, but a mutual relationship between corruption and the economic importance of drug trafficking, but also a direct relationship between the strengthening of large criminal organizations that traffic drugs and seep into the political administration. The Economics Committee overthrew Bahiri Shachiri's candidacy for the head of the High State Control. The Parliamentary Committee of Economy and Finance rejected today the President's decree on Bahiri Shachiri's proposal for the position of chair of the High State Control. Initially, the committee held a hearing with Shachiri where he informed members on his priorities and visions for running the institution. The fight against corruption, according to Shachiri, is a priority of justice reform that will be reflected in the work of the High State Control in the case that I would become elected. Keeping as reference European standards in the direction of the High State Control, Shachiri assured that if elected as chair of the KLSH, he will closely cooperate with the Parliamentary Commission and the relevant institutions. Meanwhile, praising moral integrity, the chair of the Economics Committee, Arben Ahmetaj, underlined his significant lack of experience in the financial and audit field, stating, "You must complete the conditions for education as there are some qualifications in the field of international relations security. There are no penalties because of the high function he has held, but he has no financial expertise for the organization and functioning of the High State Control," said Ahmetaj. According to Ahmetaj, Shachiri's engagement are focused on the security field, but not in those provided by the law on high state control. He ended by stating, "Experience in financial legislation is necessary and irreplaceable with other skills. It is far from financial and auditing specifications, so referring to all the constitutional members of this commission submits to this session the disapproval of his candidacy." Today, the students of the Faculty of Law were found outside the auditorium instead of inside. After Monday, when the recommencement of instruction was announced, no solution had yet been found. Meanwhile, the director, Artan Hoja, has communicated an alternative course of action to them. He stated, "The lessons can be replaced at Tirana high schools. For students, each building is the same and they only need to attend the lesson. The actual classroom in this case has no significance." However, protesting students rejected the idea off the bat and do not see the replacement option of lesson hours in other buildings as a viable solution. Luzin Basha attended the tour of meetings in Shkodër in the framework of the planned February 16th protests. The chair of the Democratic Party stopped to attend meetings with business leaders who expressed the impact over the difficult economic situation. Basha stated that the opposition has now exhausted all their political paths with Edi Rama's government, urging citizens to unite for the departure of Prime Minister. He stated, "I am very encouraged by their determination and clarity to join all together on February 16th to protest and stand up against Edi Rama's government and to ultimately overthrow it." Edi Rama is a failed prime minister. On February 16th, Albanians will resolve the contract they made by voting for this government that has violated every social contract with its citizens. Basha said that the Democratic Party will not only lead the protest, but will provide citizens with the solutions they demand. "I, as chair of the Democratic Party, will present to you our solutions in the presence of our forums, interest groups, and European friends who are on our side and on the side of our citizens," stated Basha. Meanwhile, the chair of the Democratic Party has held meetings with students. He promised to abolish the law on higher education while implying that funds to support the students exist. But this year, according to him, the government will give it to its clients and will spend it on government luxury. The Interior Minister responded negatively to the invitation by the Democratic Party to appear at the Media Commission. Despite the high interest of media and the opposition for Sander Lleshaj, his report on student violence was postponed until February 6th. The Minister of Education, Besa Shahini, will report on Wednesday to the committee. Interior Minister Sander Lleshaj refused the request of opposition MPs to report to the Media Commission on student violence inside the faculty buildings. Unlike other times where we were familiar with the absence of the opposition in this commission, earlier today we saw the socialists boycott the commission. Albania Vokshi, in a response to the situation, stated, "The boycott of the meeting on the commission by the majority MPs, as well as the refusal of the Interior Minister by the orders of Edi Rama, is an unconstitutional act." Major MPs contacted by Aura News reported that they did not attend the committee meeting because on Monday evening they had received negative responses over the presence of the minister. The socialists also say that Sander Lleshaj has expressed his readiness to come to the commission, but first they must consult with him to determine the agenda. On the other hand, the opposition MPs headed by the chair of the Albanian parliament, Albania Vokshi, have signed a request to summon the Minister of the Interior, Sander Lleshaj, on February 6th. The unification of the Democratic Party and the Socialist Movement for Integration Party, alongside other small parties, approved the Lleshaj municipal budget for 2019, while the Socialists boycotted it. The budget reaches 18 billion lek, of which 1 billion is slated to settle old debts. The Lleshaj municipality has 18 billion lek available for 2019 for investments and other expenditures. The budget was approved at the municipal council with 27 votes from the coalition consisting of the DP, SMI, and other small parties in the absence of the socialists. The Lleshaj municipality says that this year there are decreases in the taxes and local tariffs in the range of 15 to 25%. Deputy Mayor of the municipality, Alfreda Marku, called the vote a victory of civil interest, hitting the socialists who, according to her, tried to block the budget. To act on behalf of the entire community and not just in the name of political interests is often unclear, said Alfreda Marku. The budget of the Lleshaj municipality is dedicated to, above all, improving infrastructure, where several intervention plans in the city as well as in other administrative units are in discussion. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. And once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.